So this is a tough question, especially under exam conditions. And the first thing to do in this problem is, as you go through the problem, you'll immediately recognize that this is a triple Venn diagram. And so I think that's important to recognize and start filling in the information, and then writing the relationships and to get to the answer. So we're given that there are 300 subjects, and then there are three categories, or we should say that they have three issues. One is the sweaty palms, and just use abbreviation or letters to represent those categories: vomiting and dizziness. And we're given the percentages, so the total is 100%. So you'll notice that you don't actually have to work with the numbers. So don't compute these percentages, meaning for sweaty palms, leave it in 40%. Don't do it as 120. So it's easier to just deal with percentages. And then we have for vomiting is 30% and dizziness is 75%. Now, when we do the traditional triple Venn diagram, there's this category is subjects that don't have any of these symptoms. In this case, that's zero, because they tell us that they all the subjects experienced at least one of these effects. And we're told that 35% of the subjects experienced exactly two of these effects. So the way I like to do these Venn diagram problems is to label individual regions. So A would be number of people who have the symptoms of sweaty palms and dizziness, but not vomiting. So it only represents this region. So when they say 35% experience exactly two of these effects, that would be A plus B plus C. So at this point, it's going to be about dealing with algebra. So that's 35. D is all three. We don't know what that is. And then the question is, how many of the subjects experienced only one of these effects? So that would be these regions here that are outside. And a good way to think about that would be that if the total is 100, then we just have to subtract these four regions. So that would be 100 minus A minus B minus C minus D is what we're looking for. Now the sum is 35, so that is 65 minus D. So we have to somehow get to D. And that's going to come from the fact that all three add up to 100. So that equation is going to be 100. And the way I like to do these Venn diagram problems is that this entire region is 40. So and now I have to add C, and then these two regions. And this would be 75 minus A minus D minus C, essentially subtracting all three of these. And then here, this would be 30 minus B minus D minus C. So as opposed to writing everything here, then adding it all up, that's extra work. So especially when you're doing this under exam conditions with pressure, I think it's important to have your algebra clear. So this would be 115, 145, and then we have, let's see, the C terms drop out, and then I'm gonna have A minus A minus B minus C. This, again, very careful with the simplification, minus 2D. This piece, or the sum, is 35, so this is 100 is equal to 110 minus 2D, or 2D is 10, or D is 5, which is what we needed. So that would be 60%. So that means 60% of the subjects experienced only one of these effects. The total is 300. 60% of 300 is 180, and that means answer is choice D.